Why does driving feel more hostile lately before you've even left your driveway? You're not imagining it. Focus groups show stress spikes from the second we start the engine, then other drivers tailgating and messy merges pour fuel on it. In the next minute, I'll give you a 10-second mental pre-check rooted in the transactional model of stress that flips you from reactive to calm. Skip it, and emotional flooding will hijack your decisions. Use it, and you'll buffer against discourtesy, read intent more accurately, and reduce that urge to retaliate. Ready to try the habit 97% of drivers skip? Ever notice your mood snap the moment the engine hums? Before the wheels even roll? That tiny shift is the hidden switch. It flips your brain from house mode to road mode, and it happens fast. You're no longer scanning for laundry or emails. You're scanning for threats, timing, and gaps. The starter motor cues a mental on-ramp, and your nervous system shifts into split-second judgment mode. We tend to think danger starts when speed picks up. But the data points a different way. Context spikes stress first. A tailgater appears while you're still in park. A messy merge sits 3 blocks ahead. Lane markings fade where a construction crew left off last night. These cues load your attention before you even reach 20 miles an hour. The stress isn't from velocity yet. It's from ambiguity and other people's behavior pressing on your appraisal system. You turn the key. Your phone lights up with 2 alerts. The GPS adds 8 minutes for roadworks. A truck fills the rear view because you parked near the exit. Your shoulders tense without permission. In a breath, your brain reframes the drive as a contest. Beat the delay, hold your spot, don't get boxed in. Nothing has happened to you yet, but you've already started spending attention like it's scarce. This is where the transactional model of stress kicks in. First, you appraise what's ahead, threat or challenge. Then you check coping capacity. Do I have the time, attention, and skill to handle it? On a quiet route, you read the same lane split as harmless. In a crowded corridor with erratic pacing, the same split gets tagged as a threat. The label changes your body's response, which then changes your driving choices. Compare a holiday weekend to a quiet Sunday. Same roads. On the holiday, cars stack at each on-ramp, turn signals come late, and patience runs thin.
You're not warming up the transmission, you're not warming up the drivetrain, all the other components of the vehicle. So the only thing you're warming up is the engine. Allow it to do the diagnostics that it's cold. It'll do that. It'll adjust the air fuel intake into the engine and then do that for about 30 seconds. Let it sit. Keep your fuel tank full so that water doesn't condensate inside the fuel tank and fuel system, because that's what will happen if you let the fuel run down below a quarter of a tank.
Your cortisol rises sooner. You guard your position, and generosity feels expensive. On the quiet Sunday, gaps appear like clockwork. Your breathing sits lower, and you let 2 cars blend because it costs you nothing. The pavement didn't change. Your appraisal did. Emotional flooding tightens your spotlight. Instead of reading the whole scene, you latch onto one move. A hesitant merger drifts near the line. In a calm state, you read uncertainty and ease off. In a flooded state, you tag it as disrespect and harden your stance. That narrow frame turns gray areas into black and white judgments, and nuance disappears at the worst time. Without a reset, you slide into a reactive lane where every slight looks intentional. The driver who held back for you goes unseen. The one who nudged forward becomes the headline. You speed match a stranger, brake a little later, and commit to gaps you'd skip on a better day. Each small escalation teaches your brain that the road is hostile, and your behavior follows that script. Here's the fix: a 10-second mental pre-check right after the engine starts. It interrupts the switch, lowers arousal, and reframes the drive as a social interaction with moving humans, not a duel with obstacles. 10 seconds isn't about zen. It's about line editing your appraisal before the first mile stamps your mood. Now that you can spot the switch as it flips, let's go step by step through the exact 10-second habit that snaps you back to calm. You asked what 10 seconds can really do. More than you think. Right after the engine starts, and before you touch the shifter, run a micro-ritual that calms your system and programs your decisions. It's short on hype and long on effect, because it aims straight at the appraisal and coping loop that makes the same street feel friendly one day and hostile the next. Start with step 1. 2 seconds. Exhale fully, long and steady, until your ribs drop and the last bit of air leaves. Let your shoulders fall. This isn't a spa move. It's a quick arousal reset that takes the edge off so your first read of the road isn't colored by leftover tension. With the shoulders down, Your neck unlocks, and your hands rest lighter on the wheel, which is exactly where you want them before the brain writes a threat headline. Step 2 takes 3 seconds. Set your intention out loud or in your head. Today, I drive to arrive, not to win. Then pick one specific courtesy you will give. One merge, one extra gap, one thank you wave. Naming a small, concrete act matters. It turns a vague wish into a ready behavior. You've just told your brain that cooperation is a goal, so it will scan for chances to deliver it instead of hunting for contests to enter. Step 3 is another 3 seconds. Reframe the cast around you. They're not obstacles. They're people with reasons I can't see. That single line counters the reflex to judge others by their moves while you judge yourself by your context. When you remind yourself there are reasons behind abrupt braking or late signaling, missed exits, kids in the back, a map lag, you give your attention room to stay broad and read intent instead of assuming malice. Step 4 is 2 seconds and makes the whole thing stick. Pre-commit to an if-then cue. Keep it specific. If tailgated, I tap cruise down 2 miles per hour and open my following distance. If I feel the urge to block, I hold speed and leave space. These are implementation intentions, the kind that bridge the gap between what you hope to do and what you actually do when your heart rate climbs. Under stress, you won't invent a good plan. You will run the one you set. Here's why this tiny sequence works in real traffic. Courtesy isn't just nice, it functions like armor. Predictable, pro-social signals, an early indicator, a steady pace, a quick thank you wave, lower uncertainty for everyone around you. Less uncertainty means fewer sudden lane changes, fewer hard brakes, and fewer invitations to escalate. You give a small favor, and the environment pays you back with smoother flow. That's car karma in practice, and it shows up faster than you'd expect. Walk through a live example. An aggressive merger is angling toward your lane. Because you already chose one courtesy, you claim it now. You lift a hair to shape a gap, keep your speed consistent so your signal is clean, and flick the blinker early so the car behind you can predict your move. Your pre-commitment keeps your hands off the horn and your foot off the surge. Their anxiety drops because the path is obvious. Your stress stays low because you acted on a plan, not on a spike. Stack these 10 seconds at the start of every drive and you change the first mile. The reset blunts emotional flooding, keeps your appraisal accurate, and cuts the itch to retaliate when someone moves clumsily. You'll notice fewer ambiguous moments turning into conflicts, and more small opportunities to trade ease for ease. The engine doesn't just wake the car, it wakes your appraisal. Those first seconds decide whether the drive feels like a duel or a routine task. A simple 10-second intention can reset that choice and shape every merge, lane change, and glance in the mirror.